Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do my weekly reading update for September 19th, 2021. So, this week was a really long, busy week. Again, I had the week off before this, and then, so when I go back to work, there's so many things left that nobody does unless I'm there, because I don't trust them, but mostly because they don't know how to do it. Because right now we're really short-handed, so we don't have a whole lot of backups. We're running, trying to get stuff done, but, so a lot of stuff was waiting for me, so that took a couple days to get, done, and I did a lot of overtime this week. I don't usually do that much. Like, I do a little bit when they let me, and they haven't really let us do a lot of overtime, at least in my department, since COVID hit. So, it's this last year and a half, I've worked a little bit, and when they let me, I work a little bit more, but really I don't like overtime. This week I had, for me, it was a lot, and it was 7 hours worth, and I'm like, I don't want to do this again. Anyway, to me that's too much. For other people, I understand that you guys get overtime and you're used to it, but I don't like sitting at my computer for 7 more hours than I already do. Anyway, so yes, the paycheck will be nice next week, but well. Anyway, so my reading was really weird. I tried to focus on getting stuff done that I've already started, and then of course I started other books. I am definitely in that mode right now of just picking up randomly books and starting them or getting into something even though I'm in the middle of other books. I know a lot of people do that all the time, have multiple books going, but I go through phases, and this year has been that phase. And I definitely need to get out of this at some point. But it's not going to be for a while because I have buddy reads and things like that that, make me do that. But I'm feeling like I have to switch, which I don't usually do, which is really weird. I know a lot of people do it all the time, but I've definitely always been one of those people who usually read one physical book at a time, But right now I'm all over the place. Anyway, so I did finish did I say 4 things? Yeah, I finished 4 things this week, which is really good considering I finished 1 on Tuesday, and then I finished 1 on Friday, and then I finished 2 yesterday on Saturday. So I did pretty good. I had a great reading day yesterday. Yesterday was fantastic. I did like nothing. I went and got coffee, and then I just read all day, and I watched a lot of BookTube as well, but I read a lot. And I also have another try a chapter video coming on Tuesday, just so you guys know. I have another one. I did that as well. So I did quite a bit yesterday. So anyway, so but the reading week was really weird because my numbers were not high, but I did get some stuff done. So as I said, I was trying to finish out some things, but I also started some things, as you'll see. So anyway, so the first book that I did read was A Desolation Called Peace by Arcady Martin. So this is a science fiction book that is the second in a duology of the Texicalian, something close to that series. I really enjoyed A Memory Called Empire, which was the first book. I read it last year. It was a Hugo winner in 2020. Definitely worth it. It was a very great book. I don't know that I needed a sequel. I don't know. There's things about this that I liked. I really enjoyed a few of the POVs. I definitely loved one of them for sure. The 8 Antidote was just perfection. I just love that whole storyline with him. I didn't quite as much like the characters that we had followed in the first book. They were not, it didn't, again, there's a little drama in there, like a little, but I get it. Like, I think she made a lot of good points that she carried over from the first book. I think it is, I guess I can't say I don't see why there's a sequel, but it does make sense, but it's also, I don't know, I just didn't have as much fun, but I really enjoyed it overall. It still was a good book. I still think if you want to read the whole duology, I think you should. I think it's still good. It's just not, I don't think the second book is as, I got as much out of it for me in the second one, but I loved several of the POV characters because we got quite a few different ones in this one, as I said. One of them was my favorite. Then I also liked one of the commanders, 9 Hibiscus. I really liked seeing things from her point of view. And then, as I said, we got the 2 of the main characters from the first book, but one that we hadn't had her POV before. So it was really, really interesting. And the things that happened. So again, this space opera mostly starts with a memory called Empire, where Mahit is ambassador who is going to the main part of the Empire from her small station, and she's there to replace the previous ambassador, but they don't know why they asked for a new one. She gets there and finds out that he has been killed, and it's kind of the mystery of why he was killed and things that he was involved in, and the technology that she has that doesn't help her, and also the people that she meets. And again, I really enjoyed the first book. This one, I did actually, by the end, there was one part of it that did make me tear up. So again, both books made me tear up at one point. I do think that they are well written and lots of good themes in there. I just don't think this one did everything for me as much as the first book did, but I'm still glad I read it. I'm glad I finished the duology. And so I read this for Space Opera September. That's put on by Thomas at SFF 180. And I also read this for Series September, put on by Krista at Books and Jams and Sarah's Nightstand. So I'm glad I finished this. Again, I finished the series. So I'm excited, which is always a good thing for me because you know me and my series. So, again, I have been focusing on my series this month because of the series September, but also really because I was supposed to be focusing on them all year. And I'm going to have to find a different way to maybe make myself do this. I have so many series that I want to restart and get back into. I have so many series I'm in the middle of that I want to continue. I have so many series that I want to start because I have the first book in series. And as I said, that's why I'm doing those try a chapter tag videos about my urban fantasies, because I just have so many first books in series. I need to start them, but I need to know if I want to commit to them. So anyway, but in a series that I did start in August, because I wasn't sure I wanted to buy the second book until I'd read the first book, and I just could not get myself to finish this physically, was Deal with the Devil by Kit Rocha. So this is the first book in the Mercenary Librarian series, and I actually got it on audio for my library to listen to the last half, and I'm so glad I did, because it's the only way I made it through the middle part where the main storyline of the main male character and his decisions just were pissing me off so bad that I kept putting this book down because I was so angry at him. And still, he will never be one of my favorite male characters because of what happens. I think they took a chance in making that the first book for me, because that is such a turnoff for me a trope of him hiding something from her, and it lasted I would say 2/3 of the way through this book, and it was really hard for me to continue. So again, I read it physically about just a little bit over half, and then I got the audiobook from my library on Friday. I finished it out at work, and that was so worth it. What was the narrator's name? Hold on. That was narrated by Lydia Dornet, and she did a really good job. I mean, I thought the narration was really well done. If you want to listen to it on audio, I thought she did really well. I still really enjoyed this book. So this is apocalyptic. I would say, I think is the 2080s, and Nina is a part of a small group, her and two other women, who are working in their community in Atlanta and trying to keep things kind of like information open. Like, they are mercenary librarians. They are badass women who can kick ass, but they also want knowledge, and they want to help other people find knowledge and to continue on things because the world has had a solar flare that has taken out pretty much most of the world. And so there's only pockets of where people there's a lot of people still, but there are like small communities, and then they're in parts of Atlanta. And Knox is the leader of the Silver Devils, who have just, they got, I don't know, they left their employers. I can't think of the word right now. That way that they left, they took out implants that their employers had implanted in them to keep track of them. And so they are on a time clock for their health wise because of certain implants that other ones that they still have in their system. And they're because one of their team members was kidnapped, they need Nina as a trade in the kidnap, and they don't. So again, there's a lot of action in here. There's a lot of banter between the two groups, the women and the men, and they're all badasses. They're all great. Like, I love the characters in here, I think, and the writing is really good. So this, again, it's just that one plot line, and that it lasted so long, of the line, that I can never love this book. This will never be a favorite. I don't know if I will keep this, but because I finished it, I realized I do want to know what happens with the other characters. And then again, they have one book out that just came out. I had canceled my pre-order because at the time I was only halfway through this book, and I was like, I can't get the pre-order. I'm trying to be better about not pre-ordering books that I haven't finished the book that's before it. It doesn't always work, but I am trying. And this is the one I did actually cancel. But I did go and buy the second book on sale at Barnes & Noble after I finish this, because I do want to know what happens. I do want to continue with the series, because I think after we've gotten past the thing I hate, everything else I really love. Again, the writing, the action, the characters, the world building, everything else I love. It was that one plot line for me didn't work. And everybody else might be perfectly fine with the way it goes. To me, it just went on too long. I loved the twist that happened at the 2/3 mark. I did not see that coming. And then there were so many things that happened after that I never imagined we'd have to deal with. Like, this book just went on farther than I thought it would. I think it's a really great book. It just doesn't do it for me because I had to, for me, wade through so much time of the, will he tell the truth, will he not? And I just don't handle with that very well. That's just one of my things. But I do recommend this for everything else. And I'm looking forward to reading, I think it's, what is the next book? The next book is like, is it Dance? No, not Dance with the Devil. I don't remember what the second book is. I have it. I don't remember. I've got the two names mixed up because the third book's coming out next year. And as I said, I wish I loved this more. Let's just put it that way, but it's okay. I made it through. I did make it through. But that audio saved me on that. So again, I have tried that. That's the second one I tried of books that I got stuck in the middle of. The other book I officially DNF'd after listening a little bit. I'm like, nope, not doing this. This one this one actually worked and I got through the book. And I'm really glad I did. As I said, I think it was great. So the other series book that I picked up was Sword of Destiny by Andrzej Sapkowski. So this is the second book of short stories from the Witcher series. I went back and looked. It's been 2.5 years since I read the first, or did I say? Yeah, I think it was 2019, January. I had this plan. I was going to read it all in 2019. Didn't happen. Anyway, so I read the first book, which was The Last Wish. And I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. And so I had this all marked up, ready to go to start reading this one, and I just never got to it. And it sat on my shelf for 2.5 years. But I looked at it as I was looking at series that I haven't continued, that I had books to, and I'm like, I have not continued this series, and I need to, because I borrowed the first novel, Blood of Elves, from my brother 2.5 years ago, because I thought I was going to read these all in a row. And I need to get to that in the next couple of months, because now he knows that I read this, because I told him, I'm like, oh, I finally picked this up. And he's like, oh yeah, you have my book. I'm like, yeah, I know. So I do need to get to his book, hopefully by the end of the year. That's my goal, I'm hoping it will. But anyway, so these are short stories. There are 6 of them in this one. I mean, they're good size novelettes, size. They're all like 55 to 70 pages each. Some of these I was like, I really liked the first one, and I really liked the last 2 as well. The middle ones, there were a couple that I liked too. There was one I didn't really like. But this one also, like, I was so surprised at how I felt by the end. I didn't realize how things were, that some of the stories, most of them don't connect. Like, But the last two stories kind of connect to each other, which I didn't realize was going to happen, which was which was great. I didn't see that really coming until they started going through it, and it also connected to the first story. The last story was great. Anyway, which was, I don't even remember the last one story name. But again, don't read just that one. You have to read all of them. Something more. But I really liked that. And then and I actually cried on the last page, which is sad. I didn't cry, but you know, like I teared up. Like I was like, oh, all the feels. And I wasn't expecting that at all, because this whole book was been kind of, oh, it's okay. And then bam. Anyway, I still can't give this a high rating because, you know, overall I still had to make myself read the short stories because I'm not good with short stuff, you know, over and over. So I am looking forward to seeing how a whole novel with one plot line is going to be. I'll be very interesting. So I am looking forward to that. But I am glad I finished this. And I'm glad I read it because, again, that last one, just, I was so confused for part of that story. And then I finally clicked on what was happening. But I didn't get it until near the end of it. And still, the end was great. So I'm glad I enjoyed this. I see, again, why people like The Witcher. I mean, I like Garrett quite a bit. And I like, or however you say his name anyway. Garrett. I don't know how you say it. I haven't watched the Netflix yet. I didn't let myself, oh, not Netflix. Is it Netflix? I don't remember. Whatever oh, the cat just knocked that. Sorry. Cooper, you can go do something else. Sorry. Anyway, I haven't watched the series yet. I'm gonna watch when the second season drops, and then I'll watch all of it together. Probably. I thought, oh well, I'm gonna read more of the stories because I'm afraid that they'll spoil stuff for me. Well, I never read it, of course, as I said. Again, it took me another year to get to it, but here it is. And now that I know that the second season's coming out, my brother is already is gonna get whatever streaming service. Is it Netflix? I can't remember. Anyway, point is, I got this done. I'm glad I got it done. Yay! I got something. And again, it doesn't go with anything else except for series September. It really was just a whim pickup because I wanted to get that done. So as I said, I started that last week and I finished it. You know, I think I started it last Saturday and I finished it this Saturday. It was like a week and a day. Something close to that. And then, oh, I forgot to take that out. And then I finished yesterday a reread of Archangels Son by Nalini Singh. One of my days after work, I don't know, it was Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday. My brain was fried and I could not pick up anything that I had started already. And so I decided, you know what, we better just do a reread. And I was going to reread this anyway before October. This is the, did I say this is the 13th book? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, this is the 12th. Was it the 12th or the 13th in this series? The next book is coming out in October. So of course I'm going to read that as soon as that drops, as soon as I get my copy. But this is the in the Guild Hunter series. Again, I love both of the series and the Side Changing series. This is the one I'd started with. Cat! Oh my god, cat! You're adorable. Anyway, so this is, as I said, it's 12 or 13. In the series, don't read this book by yourself. Like I say with all these, you should start at the beginning. These follow characters that I've liked throughout the series, and we just get to know them a lot better. And I like this one. This is one of her more slow burn romances in this series. Again, it's a great paranormal or urban fantasy, futuristic kind of, it's a different world. Let's put it this way, where there's archangels, angels, and vampires, and there are people called guild hunters who are the ones who are sent out to track down the vampires who, go off of what they're supposed to be doing. They rampage and then they go after them. And it follows the archangels and the angels and vampires in this world, and they follow certain characters. And again, some of the books are like this one where there is a certain couple we follow, and some of them are just series books that follow the main couple and then the whole world situations, because there's so much political stuff in here and events that happen that you don't read them out of order. Let's put it this way. I love this series. As I said, I reread parts of the series all year. I pick up a book here and there, the same as the Side Changing series by her. she's just one of my favorite authors, and it's just a comfort. So I always pick these up, and I knew I was going to pick this up either this month or the early next month before the book came out. So I just picked it up now, so I am ready for the next book. Now if only it would just show up. But I have a few more weeks before that'll happen. But I did enjoy my reread, and I'm glad I read it, because this is done. It's one I've only read. I don't know if I reread this one yet, so this might have been my first reread since I read it last year. Or I might have, I don't remember. But I enjoyed the reread, so that was good. Okay, so those are all the things I finished. I talked a lot. Anyway, so let's just kind of quickly go through what I'm currently reading. So I'm hoping to focus today on Dune by Frank Herbert. I did start this week to start my reread. I just love this book. I think I figured out that I've read this at least 6 times, maybe 7. So this is either my 7th or 8th time to read it. I don't know beyond that. It's kind of a guesstimate at this point. But this was a book that I picked up, I think I picked it up Monday or Tuesday just to read a little bit of it. And I fell right back into it. And again, not everybody likes Dune. Not everybody likes the writing. I love it. This is, again, I love this book overall from the whole series. And so I'm really wanting to reread it before the movie. I definitely want to go see that and see how that goes. What's really funny is this copy has my notes from college. So it's still kind of weird. So maybe I started this book last weekend. I don't remember now. I did read just a little bit. I'm only 57 pages in. I didn't get very far. Again, it was one I picked up right before bed a few nights. And then I put it down because my work week just got crazy, and then I focused on the other stuff to get it done. So anyway, I'm hoping that today I'll get a good chunk of this done and maybe get it done early this week. But I don't have to say much about Dune because it's so popular. I'm not going to worry about that. Anyway, but this reread is one I'm going to focus on next and try to get that done. The Bone Shard Daughter by Andrew Shooter. I did not pick it audiobooks up until the end of the week when my library hold came in for Deal with the Devil, and I listened to that because I just wanted to get it done. This one I'm 40% of the way through on its audiobook. It has a cast audio, so I'm not sure all the names, but it's really good. So again, Andrew Shooter is a friend of mine, so disclaimer on that, but I'm really enjoying this fantasy. It's like an island empire where there are things going on in the emperor's house where the daughter has had an illness where she does not remember her first 17 years of her life. She has no memory of that, and she's trying to now, years later, try to figure things out, and also gained the bone shard magic that shows she can be the heir to the empire, and he will not acknowledge her as that at this point. And she has a foster brother who she's kind of competing with, and they have a strange relationship as well with things going on with the father, the emperor. And she's also out to save her country because she feels like he has turned too inward and not worrying about everybody else. And then we follow Jovis, who is a smuggler who kind of gets caught up in being a do-gooder. Kind of against his will, even though he's kind of wanted for smuggling. And there is the best little animal companion in here. Nuffy is my favorite, and so I want to get back to this. And then there's several other POV characters, but those are the 2 main ones that we follow. So again, this is the first in the trilogy. The second book is coming out in November. I've already got it pre-ordered, so I have to finish this. Again, she's my friend, so I was going to buy it anyway. But I'm really enjoying this so far. I took a break because I was actually, I took like 2 weeks break from it because I didn't listen to it while on vacation, except for that one day where I made really good progress. And then I didn't listen to it this week. So this next week hopefully that early part of the week I will get this done. I still have, I think, 6 hours, maybe 5.5, 6 hours left of it. So as I said, I'm about 40%. So I'm hoping to get that done this week. That's the goal. And I guess I should talk about my DNF before I talk about the next one. Do I have a picture of it? So I did DNF A Wizard of Eris by Ursula K. Le Guin. So I have liked Le Guin in the past. I've read only 2 of her books, her science fiction adult books. So I never read Earthsea, and I've never been one of those series I really wanted to. I learned about it too late. I don't know why I didn't hear about it when I was younger. I probably would have enjoyed it better. But I got, how far did I get? Well, I got 3 chapters in and I was just done. And there's only 10 chapters. So I wasn't too far into the book. I think I was like 50 some pages in. I just didn't care. He was like the most annoying kid. You know, those kids who have a lot of power who, I don't know, he annoyed me. And so I'm not going to really go into this. I did it as, I was doing it as a read along with the Fall Into Reading Challenge done by Tia and All the Books and several other people. I had to drop out. I was just like, I just wasn't enjoying it, and I couldn't force myself to do it. So I did have a DNF this week, so that didn't go so well. So that's a series I didn't connect with. But I did pick this up, I don't know, probably that day. And then I haven't read anything more. I've only read the first 30 some pages. And that is Morning Glory Milking Farm, which is a monster bait romance by C.M. Nacasta. Anyway, so this one was like going all over Twitter and I think that's right. I saw it on Twitter. That's where I saw it. And they were all talking about this like a couple weeks ago. And I bought it when I had some credit from the Kindle. I don't know. There's some summer thing where if you buy so many Kindle books, you get some credit back. So I guess I had some, so I used it mostly on this. So this is like a romance, but it's in a world where there are humanoid things from like creatures. There's like, they're minotaurs who, I'm not saying that word right, am I? Anyway, the males have to be milked, because, first for their health reasons, but also because their semen is used to, create the little blue pills that human men use for issues. So I died. Anyway, so it's really funny. It's kind of, tongue-in-cheek of, she's not sure that what she's doing is supposed to be for health benefits and for science, because she's working for a pharmaceutical run farm. But there's a sexual element to it as well, because again, she is helping the bulls along. Anyway, so I haven't got very far. I actually stopped that day and I haven't come back to it. I think this is going to be a book I pick up just every once in a while, not super often. It was a fun, it's just an ebook I'm going to pick up. It's like a 200-page ebook, so I will come back to it, but it's going to have to be when I'm in the mood for it. And that day I was, but that doesn't mean every day I am. And I left her kind of in a precarious situation on her first time that she was actually doing everything. So I need to get back to that book and see what happens. But I think she connects with one of them, and all the other ones she doesn't, but one of them she connects with. I'm not quite sure, but we'll find out. I hear it's really good. Anyway, so then the books that I'm going to pick up in this week. So today I'm going to start A Questionable Client by Ilona Andrews. This is actually 0.5 short story that they wrote about, for the Kate Daniels series. So again, the Kate Daniels series is the series that I'm buddy reading with Tia and All the Books, and we're reading through the series. But this is one that was written now, or between where we are in the series, but it's actually 0.5, so we've decided to insert it at this point. So I think it's like 65 pages, so I'm going to read this one today, and then we'll continue on with Magic Rises, which is book 6. So we'll be reading this all week until Monday through Friday, and then there's another short story at the end of one of the ill-advised rescue, I think. Is that what it is? Yeah, so that also is, we're supposed to read it about this time. So we're going to, again, get a couple of short stories or novellas done, as well as the big book this week. So again, the Kate Daniels series there's a lot of short story. As I said, it has a lot of little shorts and novellas in between. So and other books. So we've been reading them in order. For this, and this is the last ones for this month that we were going to do. So that's going to be mostly my focus this week. Is again the Kate Daniels series, which is urban fantasy, where their magic has come back to the world, so technology doesn't work when the magic is up, and magic doesn't work so well when the technology is up. So it kind of goes in waves. And Kate Daniels is a mercenary who gets kind of caught up in the politics and all the shifters and masters of the dead and other things and gods and things that happen in this post-apocalyptic Atlanta. So again, I have 2 Atlanta books, but anyway, this series just gets better and better. Everybody told me that. I do know that, because that first book was rough, but everything else has been great. And I'm looking forward to see where it goes in this one. Again, I don't have a clue because I didn't read the back, and I'm not going to. I'm just going to go into this starting tomorrow. So I said, we'll read, is it a question? Oh, dude, as I throw my tablet around, then we'll read that. So, I do have a book that I'll probably pick up next as audio after The Bone Shard Daughter. I'm hoping to pick this up by the end of the week, and that is Astoria. John Jacob Astor and Thomas Jefferson's Lost Pacific Empire by Peter Stark. So I got the audio from the library. So this is a book I borrowed from my dad. So again, as that I want to get it done, so I've been picking up audiobooks to go with the books, some of the nonfiction that he's given me. And since I can listen to quite a few nonfictions now at work, or a couple of audiobooks at work, this is going to be the next one. So anyway, I'm hoping to get to that. So that's nonfiction history, and as I said, I still need to work on my presidential reading. I have to read the next one in that one, but that one's kind of one of those books I wanted to slot in because it has to do with Thomas Jefferson. And then if I get done with Dune early in the week, or maybe late in the week, but I think the next thing I'm going to pick up for Space Opera September is going to be Calicos War by James S.A. Corey. This is book 2 in the Expanse series. So I read book 1 2 years ago in September. So it's been a little while. So I'm going to have to find a synopsis of the first books. It has been quite a bit of time, but I really want to get back into this series. And this is a series I've been putting off. And now that I found quite a lot of them used, I have almost all of them except for one. And then the last book is coming out in November, I believe. And again, it's coming out in hardback, so I'll wait for the paperback. But hopefully by then, I'll be through this book series, because it is a 9-book series. But I need to read book 2. So this is the book I'm probably going to pick up. Again, this is space opera stuff in the solar system. And the first book was a ride. Like, there were some parts I didn't like so much, but I really liked, by the way it went in the end. And it was just, like, I had no idea where we were going and how it was going to all come together. So I don't know what this one's about at all, because I can't remember the first book so much. But I'm going to look for a synopsis. If you know somewhere that's the best place to get one, let me know. But I'm hoping to get to this. I have not watched any of the TV show yet. I'm going to wait till I get farther into the series. I think I watched the first episode before I read, or right after I read Leviathan Wakes, and then that was kind of it. And I've never come back to it, so I need to do that. So those are all the books. I've talked way too long, again, as always. So, anyway, have you guys read any of these books? Have you done anything? I keep forgetting to do my board, too. This has not been a good month for this. So I had to go back and put these in from last week, because I forgot to pull the board up. Sorry. So we are going to quickly mark my prompt board. So again, I had a reread with Archangels Son. So yay. I started a new series with Deal with the Devil. I finished a series with, what was that one called? A Desolation Called Peace. I continued a series with the Witcher series. Is that everything? I think that's everything. I didn't finish anything else. So that's it. So far, oh, and I had a DNF. Okay. So that's kind of it. So my board is very series heavy. This is good for me. Very good. So this month I've done really good on that. So hopefully we'll continue. Get at least a few more starts, a few more continues. I don't think I'm hoping to get in by the end of the month one more finish that'll finish a series. So we'll see if I can do that, because I'm trying to fit it in, but we'll see. But that is it. So have you guys read any of these books? What did you guys think of them? Or you think I'm right or wrong? Who knows? Or, are you guys What are you guys reading for series September or space opera September? Or are you doing one of the other readathons? I mean, I'm doing fall into challenge, the fall into reading challenge. I'm sorry. I'm probably not going to figure out which books I read for what until I get to the end of the month, because I have just been all over the place, and every time I go, oh, I could put that one there, but then the next book would be just the same. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not doing too good on different kinds of books, obviously, because I'm reading a lot of sci-fi and fantasy. So anyway, that's it, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.